Hey guys, welcome to the POS Podcast. Today with me
Hey,
is everybody. We have Tom, we have Saber, we have Jim. Jim's camera's
yo,
not on, just so
no,
he won't be jittery.
yeah,
So, but yeah, welcome to the POS Podcast. We're going to talk about things.
I love
Saber,
yeah.
what are you doing?
I think all three of us are like, we love things. All right. Well, before we start paleo, we should ask each other how our lives are.
yes,
Guys.
let's do that.
How are your lives?
Okay.
All right, cool. What's the first topic of the discussion?
Well, I don't have an image for it, but let's talk about something that Tom saw recently. Is Mad Max.
Oh, we
We
really
talked
wanna
about
start
it.
off with this?
Yeah, we talked about it last podcast, and
Nice.
me and Jim saw it, and now both Saber and Tom have seen it now. So, and I want Jim and Tom to debate because
I'm just gonna sit back and relax and watch you all
Yeah.
shoot some people outside of the school. Go
Okay.
for it. Go. Fight.
I mean, I need
What?
Jim to go first because I don't understand.
Fight.
What-
Fight.
what-
Fight. Fight. Fight.
Oh wait, what? I'm supposed to. This is a little weird when people are just like, and you have the two most apathetic people ever. Like, what?
All
You
right,
have to.
I'll start this off then. All right. So Tom, you're wrong. Jim, you're wrong. Continue.
No, you're wrong, Saber. Let's go against. Let's just team up, Tom, and go against Saber. That's
Yeah.
what I say.
Fuck you, Saber Spark.
Oh no, I'm being double teamed. I saw Mad Max Kung Fury. Mad Max Fury
Fury
Road.
Road.
My
Yeah.
bad. And
I thought that was on purpose. Oh my god.
I saw Mad Max, and it was great. I loved it. I know, Tom. I want to hear your opinion here in a bit because I'm just stating the obvious. I love the practical effects. I love the so you're gonna throw into the universe. I mean, I wish there was a bit more explanation here and there because I'm like, what's going on? I know Mad Max universe is a post-apocalyptic world, but I'm like, who are these people? Where they come? And I guess it's kind of the sense of the adventures you're just thrown in there. Hold on, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good popcorn movie. So there's my 2 cents.
Good 2 cents.
Don't you mean 2 bits?
Oh god.
Mm.
Okay.
Paleo, stop.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to rebut to that, or are we waiting for Jim still? Jim, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, Jim. What makes Mad Max Fury Road a good movie?
Okay, you have Jim. I don't know if Paleo's talked to you about this, but for the last like 3 or 4 days, ever since I saw Mad Max, he's like, "You need to fight Jim about this," and I'm just like, "Okay." So that's why I'm just like, Jim, what are your thoughts? Because apparently we're supposed to have a Titanic throwdown right now.
I mean,
Yes.
I watched your video. I mean, I watched your video,
Okay.
which Paleo showed me. In all,
Okay,
no
so
offense,
he's-
Paleo. Paleo's clearly the instigator. In
Clearly.
this. No offense, Paleo. He's just like, fuck you, man, fuck you. But I don't know. I have, I guess, done battle with that criticism with this film before. And I think I guess because the characters aren't complex and stuff, and I think sometimes like with certain movies it doesn't. I think you might be asking for something that Fury Road isn't going to be giving you. It's like the thing with I'm just using this example because it's something I watched recently. But when the first Jurassic Park came out, everybody said those characters weren't complex enough because it's just like types. Like I don't remember the characters' names, but Sam Neill is like the one guy and he's wearing a certain color, and Laura Dern's a different person, she's wearing a certain color, and Jeff Goldblum and so forth. And they're very like just like caricatures, like a B movie or something. But then when they tried to change that in like The Lost World, that like just does not work with that kind of a movie. And same with like Halloween's another one where people said, oh well, Michael Myers is too flat and we need to expand on his backstory, and then it doesn't really work. You have to look at the form. It's like a form versus function argument. And like the form of Fury Road, if you the characters work within the kind of movie that it is, which is a chase film, and I think they work excellently well because you can. That's the kind of movie that what's considered pure cinema is if I turned all the sound off, and I can tell you everything that's going on without dialogue. That's considered pure cinema, and I think Mad Max actually works that way. Whereas like the Avengers, if I've turned the sound off, I'd be like, what's going on right now? Why is Thor in a hot tub or something? And like
That's in the movie.
in
It is
Fury,
a movie.
in Fury Road, I 100%. I haven't done it. I actually plan to because they're going to put out a track on the Blu-ray. They've already confirmed it where they're just going to have an isolated music track so you can watch it without dialogue, and I guarantee it will work. You know, I also think the thing that to me, this is like an aside. This has nothing to do with those thoughts, but I wanted to say this anyway. So last night there was that Game of Thrones action sequence, which is still a good.
Spoilers. Make sure.
This is not. I'm not spoiling anything. It was a great sequence. Ordinarily it's a great sequence, but I feel like with Fury Road, what Fury Road has done to me. Have you ever heard the theory? Well, it's not a theory. I've never done it, but I've heard from friends who are friends and not me that if you have sex on ecstasy, it ruins sex for a while, and like you can't. Sex isn't as pleasurable because when you have sex on ecstasy, it's so much better. That is actually nothing I've done, but that's what I've heard. Every action sequence I've seen since Mad Max is like
I gotta
tainted because I'll just because I just like that's how but like that sequence on Game of Thrones is amazing, but the reason the Mad Max sequences are so good is what they did is every sequence is in the middle of the frame, and so when you do quick cutting, your eyes have to move, and that actually makes a difference in the information you're taking in. And so they actually have a video where the DP explains how they did it, and they use a site to show you, and it works. Everything's in the middle of the frame, so you don't miss anything. You're actually taking in everything. It's kind of a weird experience compared to most cinema now, where you watch an action sequence and like The Rock's on camera left, and then they cut and Ludacris is on camera right, and then you have to move. And like that sequence last night, I noticed they did that quite a bit, and it's still a good sequence, but it's taking you longer. Like you'd have to watch it again to fully get absolutely everything, you know. And whereas Mad Max, you're getting everything at once. It's like a silent film, because anyway, I'm just gonna keep ranting about action sequences and silent film, but I actually really like visual storytelling and how universal it can be, and how that information can go through, and like someone in Mexico is getting the same information, getting the same movie I'm seeing, regardless of that dialogue. I think is an amazing thing. You know, that's something we lost when we got sound.
I don't know if Hispanics watched it, they'd be like, these guys are just running from the drug cartel.
Yeah, no, but like there was a thing like when silent film started, like Charlie Chaplin became the most famous person in the world faster than anyone had ever become famous in the history of the world, basically. Mm-hmm. And the reason he did is because everyone had the same experience with Charlie Chaplin. And I think this is one of the very few times since silent film that has happened, where someone in Italy and me in Brooklyn are having the exact same experience watching a movie. And I think that's an amazing thing, but it's a different viewing experience for a lot of people. So I think that's why we're getting these criticisms. I'm not saying people are stupid or something. I just think that is kind of the division, because we're not trained to watch movies that way. And like, you have to kind of train yourself to watch film in that way, you know? I think that's part of it also.
That concludes the closing argument for.
Sorry, I kind of went off. I'm sorry about that.
Your rebuttal with your responding argument.
I don't even have a rebuttal because I agree entirely. I think it is like an action film. I think it's all about like being a visual experience. I just don't like that. I didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
I mean,
hey, you know what?
It's not
You know what though? I will. The only thing I will criticize you on is you had your phone on in the head. I disagree with that. That's the only thing.
Wait, the phone? What now?
That's what you said in the video, I thought.
I said in
Am I
the
wrong?
video, which I'm sure Saber hasn't seen. No, you're completely right.
No, I watched your review
Oh,
of
I
Mad Max.
I said at one point that I checked my phone a couple times because I was bored.
I'll
I
agree.
did that in Strange Magic.
I did that at the.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna disagree with Strange Magic. Come on.
Yeah.
What is
That's nobody's gonna have a problem with that one.
I mean, I guess my thing is that like I think the problem when I saw Mad Max is because I waited too long to see it, and everyone was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah, it
this
was
is one of
like
the best
really-
movies."
I think it is a
Fucking
little bit
ever.
overhyped.
And
Probably.
no, I don't even think it was the problem was that it was overhyped. I think it's because I knew nothing about the movie going in. All I had heard was that it was the best movie ever, essentially. And
That
what
sounds like
I
overhyped.
consider the best movie. Wait, let me explain it. The reason is because I internalized what I considered to be a great movie as opposed to what it actually was. So, like, to me, like, a great movie to me, something I really enjoy is when there's like lots of like strong characterization and like that this movie didn't have that. There was a lot of like theming going on. There was a lot of visual, like every character had like their own little like small arcs and stuff that went on through the movie. But the bulk it was a 2-hour car chase. And like that was entirely the point of the movie was that it was supposed to be 2 hours of like stupidly ridiculous action, and the fact that it was like a love letter to practical effects, and that's fucking great, and it succeeded super well in doing that. But for me, like, there wasn't enough character context for me to care about what was going on. Like, you can't show me an action scene without context and have me care. Like, if it's any longer than like 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to stop caring. So, like, I felt that the story in Mad Max had themes, it had characters, the characters had arcs, but it was just enough story to frame the 2-hour car chase, and it didn't try to do anything really in depth or give the characters any like dimension outside of the necessities in order to make the visual cinema work. And to me, that's not interesting. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, I'm just saying it wasn't my kind of movie. So if I had gone in knowing that it was going to be nothing but punchies and like fucking gunshots and explosions, maybe I would have appreciated it more, and not going in thinking I'm going to see the best film to come out so far this year. And maybe it was, but it's not my favorite movie to come out this year.
Man,
I don't
poor
even know
Star
what that'd be.
Wars has no chance to impress anybody. Star Wars is gonna.
I was actually that's actually something I was thinking about. It's like, so Mad Max comes back after 30 years and surprises everyone. Everyone likes it. Is this now going to be the thing that Star Wars has to live up to? Is trying to, because now people are saying it's like the best Mad Max movie, which I think is a little too far. But putting it above, like, you know, saying it's at least the second best or something like that is pretty crazy. And it's like that's kind of a big thing for Star Wars to live up to now, other than all the other expectations that has going for it. But it's like, it's kind of crazy that I don't think anybody thought Mad Max would take away the franchise coming back from Star Wars. But we haven't seen Star Wars, so who knows?
Yeah.
I wonder if there was a kid on this deathbed from the Make-A-Wish Foundation who said, "I want to see Star Wars before dying." If they, what if they can't? How would you turn that kid down? It's like, nah, I can't watch it. Like, I just find it to be horrible.
Dude, I've tried that trick every week, but Hollywood won't call me back. I'm like, I'm dying. Just send Insidious 3 to my house. Send me a screener. I'm dying of a thing. And I was like, Jim, stop calling. We're
Not again. We got you on caller ID.
not sending. Well, I mean, I'll just see it anyway. I just do it.
Ooh.
I think
Sorry.
you died.
All right.
Who?
Oh, there you are.
Well, I thought it was a good movie. It was refreshing. I do agree that there was a time when I looked down and I'm like, is this done yet? But not like, I mean, I'm still impressed. And it's nice to see. The Mad Max thing, though, it just definitely reinforces the age of nostalgia we're going through. Where it's like,
Yeah.
let's bring it all back.
kind of, but this is like, um, I don't think this was as nostalgic as somebody wanted to make Mad Max.
Yeah, like
Then I don't think
Mad
Warner's
Max
would have.
isn't as big a franchise as
Yeah.
like Star Wars or
Like, there's
Still?
so many
Yeah.
people I've had to explain. They're like, "Well, what happened to his family?" And I'm like, "Well, that's the first movie."
yeah.
And it's like people don't really know it that well. And most people have only seen Road Warrior or just seen Thunderdome. It was just because George Miller wanted to do it. I don't
Yeah.
think they could. Well, also, he owns the rights to Mad Max. That's the other issue. Because when he owns the rights to the original, and then what happened is when he was developing the movie Contact with the original guy who made Cosmos wrote it, and Robert Zemeckis had just done Forrest Gump, and he wanted Contact, and George Miller's version was weird. So to get George Miller off Contact, Warner Brothers gave him the rights to both of the Mad Max sequels. And so he owns all the rights, so they can't do anything with it without his consent. So that's basically how Fury Road happened, is because Robert Zemeckis needed to make Contact. True story, no joke.
All right. Well, let's move on to
The second subject.
yeah, the second thing. Tomorrowland. Me and Jim went to go see it.
All you guys, I have.
So
Let's see it.
Tomorrowland is so Tomorrowland.
Saber.
I'm gonna find some good recipes to cook this week. I'm telling you right now, guys. I'm spotting some. Look at this. Hold on. Let me. God, I'm just. Oh wait. How do I unbuckle this thing?
You can't.
The sausage chicken gumbo. I'm thinking about making this. But I need a Dutch oven, which I do not have. So hopefully it'll require.
Don't worry, I can do a Dutch oven for you later.
Oh, you fart, you.
Oh,
All right, tell us about this
Oh.
Tomorrowland movie with Tom Hanks.
I'm
What?
sorry, Dutch. I couldn't not let that Dutch oven joke go. I'm sorry.
I know. It was a good old softball pitch to the joke mound. Continue. I want to hear about
Yeah.
this movie.
So
I want to hear about how
Tomorrowland-
good it is.
Starring George Clooney and directed by Brad Bird, who's directed movies such as The Iron Giant and The Incredibles and Mission Impossible
And
Ghost Protocol.
Ratatouille.
And Ratatouille. I forgot he did that.
But yeah, it's. I don't,
It's just
I don't
such
know.
a
I feel like I
disappointment.
hated it more than you, maybe.
Well, what was so bad about it?
You know what was? I think the message of it really was kind of ugly.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem with it. I think is the message of it was just like that. It's just seeing a trope that you're used to from Brad Bird, which was that everyone in Incredibles is special, and Iron Giant, Ratatouille, and Ghost Protocol, and seeing that on this one made it turn ugly, and it made me kind of like, it made me a little angry because I'm like, oh, so you really feel like you are better than everyone because you're creative. It makes you sound like a shitty person, and then it made me
Yeah.
feel bad. And it's also, this is a little more, people are going to think this is very shallow, but I disagree with its release date. I don't think it's a good Memorial Day movie. Like, it's like,
Oh yeah.
like it's not, it's like if San Andreas isn't better, but like that makes more sense to me. Tomorrowland, like that should have come out in March. Like it doesn't work for me. It's like, and don't put out a movie that's shitting on dystopian movies the week after Fury Road. Bad
Yeah.
move.
I know, right?
I was like, this is like not a good idea by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I can't imagine, they probably left Fury Road and went, fuck, damn it, we're gonna look like assholes. And like they kind of do, because it's like you can't, I don't know, it's just like the whole idea, their view of dystopian future movies is very limiting, and I think it would have made a really good essay by Brad Bird, and he's written
An essay.
film theory stuff. Yeah, I know, what a great summer movie. It should have been an essay.
I forgot about this one scene to talk about in my review is that scene in the gift shop where Disney really like pushes it in that they own Star Wars in that scene. It's like if you didn't already know, If you didn't already know that we own Star Wars, we own Star Wars. Like, they play the theme and everything, and they show, like, so many different, like, Star Wars figures.
That's stupid.
I completely forgot to talk about that scene.
That sequence is like the best part of the movie. So if you can sneak in like 20 minutes in and then leave after, you'd be like, wow, Tomorrowland's not so bad.
Yeah, like
actually, you could just leave after that because I think
I was gonna say that Keegan-Michael Key is the star of that scene. If you know him from Key and Peele, you know that sketch show.
Oh yeah.
So Keegan-Michael Key is in that scene.
he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's just
Because no, sorry, you go.
I think it's just that this movie is just so underwhelming because I mean, you know, we've all like seen great things from Brad Bird, and now this is the first disappointment from him. So it just makes me not like the movie even more.
There was no Avatar the last.
And that he chose the he chose this over Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it even worse. That you're like, okay. I mean,
but then think about it this way: what if Star Wars sucked because he did it? Like, maybe this saved Star Wars. Who the fuck knows? You gotta think.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Maybe he's lost his touch.
But I was kind of wondering that too. Is like because there's some directors who like look at. I'm sure no one saw Aloha.
Nope.
No, I've not heard
but
of
I
that.
just like, yeah, it feels like he went off into shit movie land post Almost Famous, and he's never come back. So much so that when I bring up,
if I brought up Cameron Crowe, Almost Famous, wow.
If I brought up Cameron Crowe and it was 2000, everyone would be like, "Oh, I love Cameron Crowe," and then after that, he just fell off and he just never came back. And there's a lot of directors like that, and I hope that's not Brad Bird's case. But the interesting thing, because a lot of people have compared this to John Carter or Lone Ranger, because it's a Disney director who basically wasn't told no.
Yeah,
it's like a Disney director wasn't told no, but he's now bringing up more about going back to animation. So maybe animated Brad Bird. Maybe what's wrong with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would be awesome. I would love that.
All right. So speaking of Disney, Disney has canceled Tron 3.
Okay.
We talked about it a couple
Big
podcasts
surprise.
back about how Tron 3 was announced. What?
There was a Tron 2?
Yeah, Tron Legacy or whatever that came out in 2010.
Yeah.
Remember?
I mean,
I thought. Okay. Never mind.
they don't need Tron 3. That's
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, because they already have all these other properties now.
well. It's like when they did Tron Legacy, they were also talking about rebooting Black Hole, and it's because they didn't have Marvel and they didn't have Lucasfilm, and now they do, and it's like they don't need Tron. Like Tron and Black Hole were made because they wanted to have a Star Wars type of thing.
They wanted to have
now
a
that
sci-fi,
they have it, it's like
sci-fi
Tron
franchise.
is extinct. It's just odd that they developed it. Yeah. It's like weird they developed it and got everyone back, and we're talking to Jared Leto about being the villain apparently and all this stuff, and then they realized they didn't have a spot for it at all until after 2018, and then they went, you know what, fuck it. It was like what's going on over at Disney that they can just like develop this big movie and then go, oh yeah, I don't think we have a place to put it. Oh, well, fuck it, forget it. We'll just put out a Captain Star Wars or something. Who cares?
Captain Star Wars. I want to watch that.
All right, enough of that. Next thing, Kung Fury.
It's a good movie. You should check it out.
Finally, something we can talk about that's fun. This movie, I had no idea even existed until I saw Twitter going like ballistic over it. And it's like Kung Fury has been released on YouTube. No, it was Reddit. Reddit's like Kung Fury's out. Check it out. And I'm like, I've never heard of this. And it was a 30-minute like, what would you call this movie? It's not a parody, is it? Or
mean, it is sort of.
It's like a combination of a parody and like an homage to 80s action, like super cop movies and like cheesy kung fu movies,
yeah,
and just like a love letter to 80s culture in general.
Yeah.
There you go. God, I
And
love
it's
that.
Fucking
Doo-doo.
awesome.
Isn't it?
Saber, if you just heard of this a few days ago, did you see the music video they did with David Hasselhoff?
No.
yeah, it's linked
You
at
need
the
to
end of
watch
the
it.
credits.
I
Yeah,
need to watch it then.
Yeah. They got David Hasselhoff to do a music video for them like 2 weeks before the movie came out. Because I've been following this movie ever since the Kickstarter like launched back like a bajillion years ago, and it was fucking awesome. And I loved it. It was really stupid in
So
the best kind of way.
So they delivered. Then you felt like I
Yes.
donated some money and they made. Okay, good. Okay.
Oh,
God,
Did a good thing.
Hackerman. The scene with Hitler. Spoilers.
It's in the trailer, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Shooting in the phone. Like, are you the police? F you!
yeah. I like the scene where like they track the phone. He's like, it's coming from Adolf Hitler. You're like, oh, you're like, you know who he is? Yeah,
Yeah.
he was just the worst person to ever live.
He's like, oh, it's Adolf Hitler. It's like, you know him? It's like, yeah, I've heard of him. I love it. And I was.
what year is this?
The Viking Age.
The
Explains
Viking
the
Age.
laser
That explains the laser raptor.
Well, it's okay because I was on Reddit. The top comments was talking about like check mark, you know, perfect 1980s music, 1980s movie where it's like hero gets power and nothing's ever explained. Check. Things get boring. Throw in a dinosaur. Check. Do. Check.
It just like reminded me a lot of Regular Show. Like that's the
Yeah,
whole time.
pretty much.
I was
It's regular
watching.
show the short.
I actually looked up. I was like, did any of these people work on Like I was convinced like Benton Connor or somebody worked on Regular Show, but they didn't. But it's like it's so Regular Show. It's like Regular Show with more violence almost, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
It is a regular show. You're absolutely correct. I saw your tweet about that earlier today. Thor.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
Just there's so many things thrown in there. Where it's like, I am the greatest. That part killed me when Hitler was just patting himself on the back, just talking to the Third Reich. He's like, I am the best. I am the greatest. I am awesome. Thank you. God. If people in the chat, if you haven't seen it, go see Kung Fury.
Yeah, it's on
for
YouTube.
free.
Just search for it, Kung Fury.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
worth
There's
your
going to be a
time.
theatrical film.
Really?
apparently. Yes.
There is. Wow.
Good.
So I will go see the fuck out of that.
Oh God,
They're
yeah.
making
Finally, a movie
theatrical
with
one?
Fury in the title that doesn't suck.
Oh!
Why do you have against that Brad Pitt World War II movie, Tom? You need to stop complaining
You know what?
about that
I hate
Brad Pitt
Brad
World War II movie from
You
October.
hate Brad Pitt!
No.
Yeah, see, you should see his review of Fury with Brad Pitt and Shia LaBeouf is stunningly mean. It's so mean. It's like Brad actually hasn't been in a movie since because of Tom.
Well,
That's true. Tom knows I'm right. He calls him all the time. Can I be in another movie? And Tom just hangs up on him. No World War Z 2. Oh no.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh no.
alright, next thing. Let's talk about this amazing 2D animated trailer for a sort of like a feature-length project that an animator called Sergio Pablos is working on with his studio. And he used to work on movies such as Hunchback, Hercules, Tarzan, Treasure Planet, and then he moved back to Spain, where he's from, and started his own studio and wanted to make traditional animated movies again because, you know, over here in the U.S., it's not that common a thing anymore.
No.
So in this trailer, it looks amazing because it's like all the animation is done digitally, and like there's like really, it looks as though it was a CGI movie, but it's hand drawn, which is amazing. You really need to look it up. It's called Klaus or Claus, and it's by Sergio Pablos, which is SPA Sergio Pablos Animation, which is Spa Studio or something. But
He tried way too hard, and I feel insecure now.
Do what?
He tried way too hard, and now I feel insecure as an artist. So thanks, jackass.
Well, he has a team. It's not just him, but.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks really right. It seems like it's about the movie's going to be about pretty much the beginning of Santa Claus. So, because you see like the big beard at the end with the main guy.
Oh.
The main guy's like a postal service person.
So it's like Santa Claus Origins
Yeah.
or X-Men Origins Santa
They
Claus.
have a movie that did that. It's called that fucking stop motion movie that I don't even remember what I'm talking about anymore. The Origin of Santa Claus.
Yeah, I know. What
I just thought it was some postal worker dude.
No.
I'm kind of like less excited about it now. Real talk. I kind of.
Yeah, like if you see at the end, like he enters that place and there's like all the toys that are being made.
I can't hear anything.
Klaus is actually like a mass murderer, and he's pushed the postal guy in there, and he's like, he starts killing him. That'd be a good movie for kids.
Yeah. But speaking of animation, the Ratchet and Clank movie has been slated for a 2016 release. It's no longer coming out this year. So that
This year's a little too busy, so it's probably better to go.
Yeah.
I gotta get
So-
more headphones. I'll be back.
Okay.
Keep talking.
But the Ratchet and Clank movie, I'm kind of disappointed that it's going to be 2016 and not this year, because there's not a lot of animated stuff this year compared to last year.
Well, 2 Pixar's.
Yeah, we have 2 Pixar movies, so I guess that makes up for it.
And that amazing movie from DreamWorks that came out not too long ago. What was
And
it called
then
again?
Home.
What?
we do have the Studio Ghibli when Marnie was there. Just
Yeah,
came out,
I
so.
still need to watch that at some point whenever it's available.
But I don't. Yeah, there aren't as many because you're not getting a Christmas time thing because everyone's scared of Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars scared everything off. Good job, Disney.
That actually happened the summer of when Phantom Menace came out. There was like no action movies. It was like the summer of comedies. It was like Austin Powers, Big Daddy, South Park. Oh, and the biggest joke of all, Wild Wild West. But there wasn't a lot of action movies. But no, I remember reading how studios, like, they heard it was coming and were like, yeah, we're just not putting. There were like very, very few. It was like the summer of Blair Witch and stuff like that. It wasn't the summer of many action movies because they pushed everything away from it because they were scared because they didn't know what was going to happen. And that's the same thing that's happening right now, except for Point Break. But everyone knows that's like, ugh. So
Yeah. But 2016.
and like and November you have Peanuts and James Bond. And
yeah, we do have
you
Peanuts.
can't put it's like
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? I'm sure they looked at the release schedule and started sweating, and then we're moving
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we're moving it. We'll work on it more. So
But next year when you have Batman vs Superman and then Captain America: Civil War and then X-Men and then another movie, and it'll be a lot easier.
Doesn't Rogue One come out then? Or is it going to be the year after?
Yes, but Rogue One is in December, and then in 2017, because it's the 40th anniversary, we get another Star Wars movie in the summer. So it'll actually be the shortest time between Star Wars movies ever. It'll be like less than 6 months. In
That's
2017.
amazing. That's amazing.
I'm sure they're all gonna be
So-
great.
So if
They
people,
will.
if you're like people won't get sick of Star Wars movies, 2017 will be the test, because I think there's possibly going to be another one that December also, but don't quote me on that one. But at least
Yes, we
6
need
months.
more. Give me
I
more
heard
Star Wars.
they're gonna remake the Christmas special with Seth Rogen and James Franco, and
Oh my God.
Don't give them ideas. They're always listening.
No, Seth Rogen's a big fan. He's just like, he's calling Franco now, like, Franco. They said a
It's
great
banned
idea.
in North Korea.
All right, next thing, moving on to video game stuff. Hatred, the game Hatred, was banned from Twitch. I'm not sure if we'd be banned for just talking about it.
Free speech, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, this game's been controversial when it really shouldn't be, because compared to other games, even like Grand Theft Auto 5, it's not that violent. But apparently, it's just the premise of it is more violent than other games. But then again, we have games like Manhunt and Postal that have been around for years, and then this gets a rise out of people, and it's very, very confusing. And I honestly don't get why people are so, upset about it. So,
Because people are dumb.
yeah, pretty much.
So, in case anybody doesn't know, Hatred is a game where you go around and you're like a fucking typical gothic, like long-haired,
talking
like
about
dark trench coat.
We're talking about a
video
game. I
game.
thought we were talking about the emotion.
Hatred.
No, it's Hatred has been banned from Twitch. Yes, you're no longer allowed to be angry on Twitch in any way, shape, or form. No, there's a video
Wow.
game called
Oh,
Hatred.
okay.
There goes most of the streamers.
It's a murder simulator. You're like some crazy guy who hates the world. You go around stabbing, killing,
Yeah, and it's a
shooting,
twin
just,
stick shooter, so like, it's
yeah.
you basically use
It's
the
like a
analogs, like use this to move, use
game.
this to shoot, and that's it.
And you just kill innocent people, and that's the entire premise of the game. And people got really upset about that, even though you can do that in Grand Theft Auto, you can do that in Manhunt, you can do that in like Postal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that let you kill innocent people, but because this one was only killing innocent people, and that was like what they were advertising instead of being like a side effect of being able to run over pedestrians at like 50 miles an hour in your fucking stolen car, it pissed people off apparently. So
Yeah, and
it's
I've
banned
seen
from
footage
Twitch.
of it, and it's actually kind of hilarious, the one-liners that this game has.
you wouldn't think it is a game taking itself seriously, and it really isn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the whole thing is that, like, it technically, Hatred wasn't banned from Twitch. Twitch banned any game rated adults only.
Adult-only games.
And that's the
Yeah.
only one that's come out in, like, forever. So they basically did that specifically to ban Hatred. And it was stupid.
Yeah, when it really shouldn't be adult-only. It should be...
Dude, it's so controversial though, because like there are parents out there who would hop on this game in a heartbeat saying, "Are you endorsing children, allowing children to kill innocent people?" It's a PC nightmare.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Alright. Going on with video games. Tom, it's your turn to talk about Witcher 3.
What is Witcher?
The Witcher is a series of action RPGs made by a developer named CD Projekt Red. It's based on a series of novels. And basically the premise of the game is you're a mutated superhuman monster hunter, and you go around, you kill monsters, and have sex with beautiful women. It's pretty much the game.
I want to play it.
It's
Is it-
pretty good. But The Witcher 3 is the third game in the series. The first game was pretty good, but some people didn't like it because like the controls and like the combat was kind of weird. They came out with a remastered version a little while later, and that apparently was a lot better. I haven't played the first one yet. I played The Witcher 2, and I beat that in like a day. I just played it nonstop. It was like one of my favorite action RPGs ever. It was really good, really engrossing story, great combat, great visuals. The ladies were pretty nice. So it was a really fun game. I liked it, and basically the day after I beat it, I went and pre-ordered Witcher 3 because it had already been announced. And I got Witcher 3, and it's okay. I mean, it's gotten like tons of awards, like 10 out of 10, like best, like the first real next-gen game, which they say about every next-gen game that isn't shit. So, and like lots of people like the game. I'm not the biggest fan of it compared. I thought Witcher 2 was a lot better, and I'm definitely in the minority on that, I think. I don't think my whole thing is like I have like a really love-hate relationship with open world games, just because I think you have to like really do an open world game intelligently and not waste the player's time. And I feel like The Witcher 3 wastes a lot of my time.
I have 15 hours in the game so far, so it's not like I just picked it up for like a few minutes. It's like fuck it, and then threw my controller away. But the problem is that I think maybe I noticed this more because I just came off playing Batman Arkham, which is an open world game, right before this, and I realized that like there's just so much dead space in Witcher 3, and when I'm just like riding a horse going from a location to another location.
That's a problem a lot of open world games have, is where there's just like nothing.
And it's just terrible.
Yeah.
You know, because these maps are huge. It's like this huge open countryside. You can go to like 5 or 6 different cities. And then there's just like there's tons of like, just like you open up your map and it's like, there's an unknown location here. You can go check it out. And there's usually stuff there to do. But like getting between those sucks.
Are there any monsters to fight along the way, or is this kind
there's
of...
monsters and stuff, but here's the thing. Here's the reason why traveling in Witcher 3 sucks, and it's really impacting my enjoyment of the game. First of all, is that there's not enough things to do. Second of all, there are guys all throughout, like the map doesn't like curtail to your level, so you'll be walking around, like I'm level 5 right now in the game, and I'll run into the guys like level 13 and then just like destroyed, like without even, so you can just be wandering. I want to explore the world and I can't because I have to make sure I don't just get like shanked from behind without noticing. Because like the game's really hard. Combat is pretty unforgiving. Like you take a lot of damage on a normal difficulty, and like you can block, you can dodge, and you can roll out of the way to like fight in combat and stuff. I'm not a big fan of blocking because it's boring. And in The Witcher 2, like the roll mechanic was what you use to dodge attacks. And for some reason in this game, when you roll, a lot of the times like blows will still hit you even if you're like way out of the hitbox range. Like it's almost like their weapon hitbox follows you even if you're moving. But then if you use the dodge mechanic, which is like a sidestep, like a blade will go through you, but if you're in the middle of a sidestep animation, you have a few frames of invulnerability, so you can dodge even when you shouldn't be dodging. But if you roll way out of the way, you can still get hit from a long way away. It's really weird. So that's kind of shit. But like the big thing is the traveling, because they have a fast travel system in place, but you have to go find a signpost because each small town has a signpost. You go to the signpost, you hit A, and you can fast travel to any other signpost you've discovered. That's kind of shitty because like in other games, like in Batman or like most other games, if you have a fast travel marker, you can travel to that place from wherever you are.
Yeah.
You can't do that in this game. You have to be at a signpost to go to another signpost.
That's
so,
kind of dumb because like the last
if
open
I go
world game
all
I
the
played
way
was Far
fucking
Cry
out of
3, and I could like fast travel to anything I've unlocked. So
it's really shit because like a lot of the times like you have to go out of your way to find like this like one small place, and a lot of the like hidden areas in the game is just like a building with a bunch of monsters. You kill the monsters, you find a treasure chest, and it has stuff in it. So I've gone all about a way, found this one room full of guys, and now I have to run all the way back to a signpost just to get there. And like the horse is fucking boring. Like the first thing they teach you about a horse is that if you double tap A, he'll automatically run on the paths of the road. So 9 times out of 10, I'll just go, and then I'm just holding A, running along this path. The game is playing itself for me, and I need to get back to the signpost just to go somewhere else. You know, some of my favorite open world games have been superhero games like Ultimate Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, and Batman Arkham, because traveling around, it subverts like normal modes of travel.
It's fun.
Like I'm swinging around New York, I'm like running up buildings as the Hulk, I'm grappling, and like so that's fun. And like what was cool about Arkham is that even just traveling around the world, there were challenges built into it. Like if you glided a certain distance without stopping, it would reward you for that, and you get XP and things like that. That's great. And like so it encouraged, like even when you were just traveling from one location to another, you were still technically doing something, and there was like a goal or purpose to doing it outside of just I need to get to this location. The fast travel problem is a big problem in moving around in Witcher 3, but the other big problem is that like in Batman or in a lot of these other like superhero kind of games, your character adapts to the terrain. So like if I'm like playing in Batman and I'm running off a building, like he'll jump, and then if there's a ledge there, he'll grab it, pull up, and keep going. So like it doesn't impede my movement. When you're riding a horseback in Witcher 3, everything stops you. Like if I want to go off a path and like go into the woods somewhere, if there's like a group of monsters, or like some guys harassing some like traveler, if I like go near a tree, the horse stops, and now I have to like stop. My movement is impeded. I need to get off the horse. I need to like run around and things. So like it's more realistic in terms of that, like, yeah, a horse isn't going to pass like through a bunch of brush or like a tree or something like that, but it makes traveling that much more difficult and that much more frustrating. Like I don't want to explore the game because it's like a chore to do so. And that's like really impeding my enjoyment of it, because the map has so much to do, but it's so spread out that I can't just fast travel everywhere. I have to get on the horse and I have to go. And it's just a pain in the ass, because like on top of that, the game's difficult, like especially like low level, because like the way the system works is that you get 1 point you can put into skills every level, but you have to equip your skills, and you get more slots as you level up. So in the beginning I can only have 3 skills. So despite the fact that I have like 15 like, because you can find like relics around the world, like some of the map icons will give you an extra skill point, but because I'm only like level 5, I have 3 skill slots to use. So I can either swap out other skills, or I can just keep leveling up. Like I have a skill that lets me like do 5% extra damage on like light melee attacks. So I can put up to 5 points in that. And that's all I'm doing, because if I unequip it, I've wasted those points until like later in the game when I unlock more slots. So your guy is like artificially weakened that way, because I can't like use all the points I've gotten from my levels. And then I'm constantly finding guys way above my skill level. So I don't want to explore the map because like I'm afraid that I'm just going to get like wrecked. And enemies usually attack you in packs. Like I got killed by fucking wild dogs, because there's like 17 wild dogs, and 17. The only way to like 17, like this huge pack of like wild dogs and shit. And like I'm supposed to be like this super badass fucking like monster hunter, and like dogs killed me because like they're just like ting 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 ting, like they're hitting me one after another after another after another, and I can't. Every time I stop to block and hit one, I'll get hit in the back by 2 other guys because I'm not blocking anymore. And they're dogs, so they're faster than me. So if I roll out of the way, they're already up surrounding me again, and I'm getting hit. So that, combined with the fact that you take a fuckload of damage, like combat is very difficult. And that's fine if you're like in a scripted sequence and like I'm being slowly like led from area to area and it's a linear experience. So these sequences are scripted and I'm ready and prepared for them. But I'm just kind of like dicking around, just exploring this big map, and all of a sudden I just get ransacked by a huge group of dudes that I wasn't expecting. Like, and then you die and you go all the way back to where you were before, and now you gotta get on the fucking horse and hold A all the way to get back to where you were before. And it's just really frustrating. It's like everything I hate about open world games in one game. Yeah, so not the biggest fan.
World of Warcraft.
Fucking, do you want me to really talk about WoW and how bad it is?
No, it's all good. I'm just playing with you. Well, I mean, Witcher sounds fun. I've heard like good things from it. I just wasn't sure what it was about. I mean, I heard Witcher 3. I was like, I've never even heard of Witcher 1. But
The Witcher 1 was only on PC, so that's why it's kind of like, and The Witcher 2 I think was only on PC.
Is it an old
it's
franchise?
Been only probably
fairly
like
recent.
7 to 8 years old. The first game came out. It was a while ago, but like the whole thing is, The Witcher 3 is the first one that has been on consoles. The rest have been PC exclusives, because like CD Projekt Red doesn't dick around. Like both of their previous games were known to crush systems because their requirements were so high.
Yeah.
I played the game with my mid-tier computer like 3 or 4 years after The Witcher 2 came out. I still couldn't run it at max settings. Like it would just destroy my system. I had to like run it at medium settings.
Maximum Overdrive. I'm sorry.
All right.
Good movie. Good movie.
All right, let's now talk about a game I've been playing, Splatoon. Yeah.
Which I almost bought.
Yeah.
Actually,
I saw your tweet.
I got Witcher 3 for free with my graphics card, so I was able to get my money back for my pre-order I placed in a box copy of Witcher 3, and I almost bought Splatoon with the money, but then I was like, I don't play my Wii U, so I'm not gonna play this game. I already know.
And you told me that like your sister has like,
my little sister has confiscated my Wii U. It is now upstairs in the living room, and I've bought it. I bought it while I was away from home. I came home, it had been opened up while it was gone and hooked up to the family TV, and my sister has gotten like $200 worth of games for it. So it's her console now, even though I paid for it.
Huh.
So If I want to get a
Damn,
Wii U, if
that's
I want to
some-
play Wii U games, I gotta buy another Wii U. Essentially,
That's some fucked up shit right there.
yeah.
I
Also, the
shouldn't curse
gamepad's
so much,
covered in
sorry.
grime because her little friends play with it all the time.
I shouldn't curse so much. That's funny.
Yeah, the gamepad. I'm thinking about getting a cover for mine because I was actually playing Splatoon so much because the game's really really fun. It's very addicting. Like it has that one.
It looks really fun.
Yeah, it has that like I'm just gonna play one more game mentality to it.
Hey, Hearthstone. All right.
Yeah, like that.
Just one more game. Just one more. Just get this needle out of my arm.
Yeah, but I want a pad because like I was playing it all weekend and I started to see dead skin over my gamepad. And I was like, ew. So I need to get a cover for it.
Hey guys,
What?
how does Davy Crockett take his pie?
How?
A la mode.
Ah!
Okay, but Splatoon.
Why do we invite him on the show?
Spicy Asian lettuce wraps. I'm putting together a grocery list for tomorrow, boys. This is gonna be good eating.
You're making me hungry.
Dude, this stuff looks so good. Speedy chicken and cheese. And I didn't even notice on the other side. What? My evening is fantastic.
Saber, I have a question.
Yes.
How come you interrupt me but you never interrupt Tom?
Whoa.
I always interrupt.
Whoa.
All the time. I don't discriminate. I just talk when I want to talk. But
Okay.
what were we talking about? Splatoon?
Yeah, Splatoon.
I go back to your
Yeah.
anime hentai Japanese little girl squid sex.
Yeah. So yeah, Splatoon. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah. So Splatoon.
the Miiverse Plaza on it is hilarious because everybody's been posting like SpongeBob memes, and just drawing all these different things on there. But the multiplayer is great. Even though right now there's really only one mode with the turf war.
Mode.
And then but ranked battles like literally open in like 8 minutes. So
So we gotta wrap this up. I was gonna say something. Should I make the Thai chicken and cabbage leaves, or should I make the chicken chili tostadas?
Tostadas.
You think so?
Yep.
I just said that because I wanted to say thank you, Jim, for laughing at my jokes. I wanted to say I appreciate that.
Hey, I can't stop. They're too funny.
Oh, you'll get your paycheck in the mail. All right, continue. So, tell me more about Call of Duty with Paint.
man, I should just stop and we should just go to questions.
No, I'm sorry. Am I bothering you? I'm sorry.
No, a little bit. I mean,
Oh, okay. Continue.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Drama.
I mean,
I'll just go back to my cookbook.
but Splatoon, like the point of the game isn't really to defeat the other players. It's more like just cover everything you can. And I see that a lot of the lower level players, once they first start, they have that mentality of like every other shooter where it's like you got to kill the other players. But no, that's not what you need to do. You need to cover as much ground as you can, and that includes like covering the opponent's ground, and that's how you win. And there's like 4 or 5 different types of weapons. There's like the regular splatter shot, where it's just kind of like a rapid fire thing. Then there's a roller, which covers a big area. Then there's a charge shot, which is sort of like, I guess, a grenade launcher kind of thing. And then there's the charger, which is like a sniper. And I've been using like the roller and the splatter shot, but I've also been using this one called the arrow spray RG, and that's like a super rapid fire. And that was really fun. And then you have also the these special sub weapons, which are bombs, or there's like a seeker missile, and the one I'm using right now, it's sort of like a mine, and you just place it down. And then there's your, I guess, your super special, which is when you have a charge meter, and when that charge meter, when you get enough points to get that charge meter full, you unleash it, and there's a few of them, like there's the Kraken, where you just turn into this big squid, and then you jump over other people and just like roll over them. And then there's the one I'm using now is called the Ink Shot, and that's basically a missile that comes from the air, and you tap a location on the gamepad, and it just creates this big hurricane of like ink, and that's really fun to unleash. And you can actually kind of exploit it by just waiting. If you have enough points by the end of the match, and you just wait to use it. Like at the final second, if you tap on the gamepad, it'll still count that big hurricane that happens. So that's a way to sort of like cheat the system a little bit.
That needs to be patched.
Yeah. But yeah, and then
Okay,
there's
so
also what?
Can I ask a question about this game, because it's still something I might end up purchasing at some point because it still looks good. It's a co-op game because you're doing team battles,
Yeah.
correct?
Though there are some problems that I wish they would fix. And
I
that's
was
the
gonna
fact-
ask, how are you doing co-op if there's no voice chat in this game?
Yeah, there is
How do
no
you
voice
coordinate
chat.
with your team?
I've played it with Hirasashi, just talking over Skype. But the thing is that you can join friends' battles, but you don't get to choose which team you're on, which that's kind of sucks.
That is dumb.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they're going to add a better co-op functionality, because there are modes that they're going to be adding in the future, and Rank Battles is one of them, which is opening soon. And then there's also the single player mode, which is pretty fun. I would say it's sort of like a combination between Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Sunshine. But it is fairly short. It's I would say about 5 to 6 hours, depending on how good you are at a platformer shooter. If you're like good at something like Ratchet and Clank, you'd probably be pretty good at it. But you can play the single player to unlock some better weapons and gear. But I could definitely see them doing a sequel and making a more expanded single player game. So I think the game's pretty fun. I've been playing it all weekend, and I'm gonna play it a lot more. So
I feel like this game needs, or like almost could have been on the 3DS.
yeah, it could. I think it probably could have, because like
Because like the whole point is that like you need the gamepad because that's
Yeah.
integral to how the game works. Okay, another
Yeah.
thing I had a
Oh.
question about. You aim with the gamepad, right?
Yeah, though
It's like motion aiming.
you can turn off the gyro sensor. So I've just been using.
Did
the
you do
analogs.
that?
Yeah. So you can do that.
Interesting.
So I'm not sure if it would work with 3DS, because the thing is that it kind of needs two analogs. So unless you want to play something like, the claw hand with Monster Hunter, you would need the new 3DS for the nub. So, but the game looks really good. Like I think it's probably one of the best like graphics for Liquid I've seen, because it looks really, really good when everything's splatting. But yeah, Splatoon's fun. That's about
So
it.
usually I would just wait to buy one of these games, but it's Nintendo, so it's going to be $60 for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Fucking Nintendo.
Or in the case of Pikmin 3, like, now it's more than that. Because,
Is it really?
Yeah, because...
Fucking Nintendo.
And I saw it for $30 at Target one day, and I was like, I'll get it later. But then I didn't. Should have got it when I could have.
Clearly. I'm surprised
Well,
you don't have Pikmin 3. You were like hype as fuck for
Yeah,
that.
I know. And because I saw it, and I was like, no, I'll save my money until something else. And then I didn't get it, so I should have got it right then.
That's like with me and Metroid Prime Trilogy. I made that mistake, and then it
Oh,
went
yeah.
up like $100 jillion. And then I went and bought it for $80, and then they re-released it for like 40, and now you can get it for like super cheap again. So I got double fucked on that game.
Yeah,
Fucking Nintendo.
But there's another interesting story about Splatoon, and that's the fact that there was a truck heist in the UK.
I heard about this.
Yeah, and they basically took a truck that was full of the special edition Splatoon games that came with the green squid amiibo, and then the people who had their pre-orders, they were offered a discount, but still they're not going to get that special edition because somebody sold the truck. So
I feel like that was dumb because if they want to flip them, it's just going to be like, I wonder where you got them.
yeah, it was like, well, we know who stole the truck now. Unless they're like really smart about it,
just
put like a
ripped
ton of
them
different
all
different
open,
accounts.
has all the little squid amiibo. He's like, I'm a kid, I'm a squid, I'm a kid, I'm a squid. Just like swimming through his massive amount of amiibo.
Well, also when I went to go get Splatoon on Friday, I wanted to get the Ness amiibo at GameStop, and I was waiting in my car, and then I saw there was this other guy in his car, and then we both went up, and we were just talking a little bit about Splatoon and getting amiibo and whatnot, and it said that they were going to have two, and I called them the day before, and they were going to have two. They only had one, so I let the other guy get it. So I know Ness amiibo for me, and it's very disappointing to me.
People do things. You punch them in the face and steal things. God,
It's very disappointing to me because Earthbound's 20th anniversary is this Friday for being released in North America. So
wanted that little piece.
yeah,
I looked for an amiibo for you when I went to GameStop, but they didn't have any amiibo at all. They didn't have any. They had no Splatoon, nothing. No, it was all gone.
wow.
So
Yeah. I
the
did
only
get
thing
the Splatoon 3-pack though.
that's cool. So if I was gonna get Splatoon, I was gonna get an amiibo with it just because I really love the art style of Splatoon.
Yeah,
Like-
it's really cool.
I mean, I know the amiibo function in the game's garbage, but I think Squid
Yeah.
Girl looks cute, and I would have wanted one, but
Yeah.
they're all gone already. So fucking Nintendo.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Q&A, and we'll take a break before Q&A, so everybody can get a drink and whatnot.
Saber needs to cook something apparently.
I am going to make these jalapeno boats. Not tonight, but tomorrow.
Ooh, post some pictures online. I want to see that shit.
Are you a foodie?
Ooh.
In that I like eating, but not
Yeah.
that I will make food or go to a place that's not close to me. So
That's
Where
not
do you
called
live?
being a. That's not being a foodie. That's called being a human.
There are some sick human beings out there.
Well, there are a lot of good restaurants where I live, but
Where are you?
I'm in Brooklyn.
Lucky? Well, I don't know. Cool.
Look at well, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know enough knowledge of it because I'll be like, oh, it's cool. But like, no, shut up. It's not cool.
I mean, there's good restaurants. That is true. So that's nice.
I am near Atlanta, and
Oh,
chicken and waffles, and peaches and Chick-fil-A.
Nothing wrong with that shit.
Man, we Georgians are just fat people, and Coke. And, what else we got? An aquarium where we eat the things inside of it. Home Depot.
Here, let's all go to the bathroom and let Saber keep describing Georgia.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna get a drink
UPS.
too. So be right back. Ask your questions on Twitter.
Arby's. Is
CNN.
CNN Center.
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim of the Braves. Low SAT scores. Okay, good. He's finally gone. We can talk about food again. God, I can't stand skinny people.
Well, let's go into questions. So if you want
That's
to,
awesome. I see it.
if you want to ask questions, go to our Twitters and then just message us a question. So yeah, Alec Greer asks, "Will you punish me for saying this Spy
Alec!
doesn't look good?"
So
Because
you-
I said that I wasn't going to go see Spy because I was like, I mean,
Well, do you not like Paul Feig stuff?
Paul
I'm just
Feig,
kidding. Paul Feig, yeah.
what's he done?
He created Freaks and Geeks and he directed Bridesmaids and The Heat.
I haven't seen any of those.
You haven't seen Freaks and Geeks?
Nope.
Wow, you should see Freaks and Geeks. It's really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bridesmaids either, but I've heard good things about that.
Oh, all three of those are. I actually watched the commentary for The Heat because he got the original Mystery Science Theater people to do commentary for it. It was pretty cool. So Yeah, but Paul Feig, I like him. I don't know. Maybe it will be bad. Maybe it won't. But the end of this question is Paleo should watch Freaks and Geeks because it's really good.
Okay. Let's see. What's the funniest reference you can remember? Reference. That's from Anasty.
Reference? Like reference joke?
I guess.
There's a couple that I just laugh at. There's one, and everybody's gonna think I'm lame when I say it, but I don't care because it makes me laugh. Is when Seth MacFarlane hosted the Oscars, and I grew up with Sound of Music, and he had this joke where he kept going like, "The family Von Trapp," and in Sound of Music nobody comes out, and then a Nazi comes out and goes, "They're gone," and then he kept doing that because they acted like they're going to do a Sound of Music thing, and he had a Nazi come out and say they're God, and I fell on the fucking ground. I was like, I can't believe he did that Sound of Music joke. But normally I don't like Family Guy references. There's a lot of Simpsons jokes like that anytime someone makes a Shaft reference, I will laugh. I love Shaft jokes.
Who's Shaft?
He's a bad mother. That's who he is.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, shut your mouth. I'm just talking about Shaft. I'm just talking about Shaft.
I'm just communicating my feelings for Shaft. I'm sorry. I want to see what's on Twitter for me to
Let's
answer.
see.
He's
Hayden
a private
asks,
dick who gives sex to all the chicks.
Hayden asks, asked me, would you rather own 5 of the rarest games on Earth or have a pet dolphin? I don't know. I feel like having a pet dolphin would be wrong. So probably the 5 rarest games on Earth.
That'd be work.
You should have better.
Yeah, it would be work. It'd be a lot of work to have a pet dolphin.
But you can sell the dolphin, right? You can also sell the games too. Never mind. I got a question here from Christian saying, any of you big DBZ fans? I like Dragon Ball Z. Did you all see the new DBZ Abridged that came out yesterday?
I did not.
I
I'm a
haven't
huge
kept up with-
DBZ fan, though.
I haven't kept up with the bridge.
It's good. It's great. Why I love it so much is it's a scene in the saga where Cell absorbed Android 17 and he's about to get Android 18 and Tien shows up and Tien does this little Kyoto and actually like beats the crap out of Cell for a bit, and then because he's holding him off.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to see how they were going to do this in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. And it was so great because like Cell's like, oh, it's Tien. What are you gonna do? You're no android. You're no Namekian, and you're certainly not a Super Saiyan. He's like, well, you know what? He's like F power levels, F Super Saiyans, and F you. And just pulls the crap out of him. And I'm like, I love it because he's saying what everybody's thinking. You know, screw power levels. Who cares? And it was just so great. Tien beating the crap out of Cell for a bit. I loved it. I always root for the underdog because he's a human. He's not a Super Saiyan. He's not a Namekian. He's just a homegrown human with a third eye. So, yeah. Oh, there you go. We need to watch the abridged one after this. After the show's over. It's like, Tom. Do you watch the abridged series at all?
I do.
All right. You need to watch this scene just alone for that for that sequence. But,
I'm hyped for the new Dragon Ball series, though. Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that last podcast.
Screw GT.
It's basically wiping GT off the face of the earth. It's
Good.
uncanonizing GT, which I mean, thank God.
All right, question from Taco. Just Taco.
The food?
Yes.
God.
Why
were
do
there-
you, question? Why are
tacos
you
in my cookbook?
Question? Why are you humans eating me all the time? Please stop.
Not till tomorrow.
All right. Question for POS. Have any of you seen Arrow / The Flash?
I've not.
No.
I haven't, but I know Arrow's on Netflix.
I've seen some of Arrow, actually. My dad watches Arrow a lot. I've seen some episodes of it. I just watched I think it was probably a season finale. It was if I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, when he is pretending to be Ra's al Ghul's fucking like a successor or whatnot. I've been kind of watching a few episodes of that
part of the show because my dad's been watching it and I end up in the room sometimes. It's really good. I have not seen The Flash. The Flash actually made a cameo in the last episode of Arrow, and I thought the costume was really goofy looking. So that's all I know. That's all I know about the Flash series.
Is Arrow Green Arrow?
Yes.
Okay.
They just call it Arrow because I don't know actually.
Edgy.
All right, from Aussie All, what are you and Saber looking forward to at MLP MSP? Jurassic World.
I was looking forward
comes
to
out
getting
when
my
we're there.
flight comped, but that didn't happen.
I look forward to just going to that wonderful barbecue place and just stuff.
Oh yeah, that place.
And the Mall of America is always fun too.
That's in the
To
mall.
be able to go there, that really depresses me. That was really fun time.
I know it's not gonna be the same without you. Like MSP last year was spectacular. It was the first con that we all met up at, and like over almost a year, I think. Oh no, like 10 months.
It was a good while.
Yeah.
So, and everybody was there. It was fun. But the barbecue place is great. I look forward to doing the Who's Line stuff. That's always fun.
Yeah. All right, question from Hadley or Hadley. What do you think about book to movie adaptations? As in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and the like. I'm assuming they mean child book adaptations if they're using that example.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't. The movie overshadows the book. Like, how many people think about the book that Jaws is based on?
Yeah, I know.
It's based on a book?
Yeah, Jaws is based on a book.
Yeah, it is based on a book.
Today I learned.
Yeah, so it's like, it depends,
it's funny, like, so many movies are based on books that people don't know. Like, how many people know that Fight Club is based on a book?
I think that one's a little more well known.
Yeah, that one's probably a little well known, but I think not as well known as Jaws.
Maybe. I don't. Yeah. That's a good point. But the thing with the only thing I would say about book to movie adaptations, and it's like a screenwriting thing that people should realize, is the thing I hate about book to movie adaptations now is that people will keep things in the movie from the book just to appease fans, but it won't be something that actually helps the movie. And I think that's my biggest problem. Like Hunger Games has that a lot, where it feels like they cannot adapt it beyond a certain place. Whereas the Harry Potter movies, they would adapt like crazy to make it work as movies. And I feel like all these other big book franchises. Yeah, well, like Game of Thrones, I don't know those books, but they are pretty radical about it. That's how you should be. It's like all the best. It depends on the book, but you shouldn't be held down by forcing you to do something if it'll slow your movie down just to appease someone from writing a mean post on Tumblr or something.
Well, Game of Thrones has pretty much gone off on its own at this point, where it's like,
yeah,
that's why we haven't seen Bran or Rickon or whatever the entire seasons, because they they said that they cut that out for storytelling because it would have not worked as well. And it's like, I kind of respect that. If they're like, this is going to be dodgy and too complicated, that's the right decision, I don't know. That's how I feel about them usually, is like we should be adapting them, not considering the fans, considering the source material. That's my biggest deal with them. Not to say I hate people who read books, but I do. Next question. From
Digital Arrow, have you ever made excuses just to watch something? Example, I missed karate for E3 this year. Or missed karate for E3 this year.
All the time. Yeah. Look, that's like laziness 101, okay? Like, I'm a professional level procrastinator, so.
I skipped work to go see The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us can top Matt's story for Elder Scrolls. Has he ever told you that story?
Oh, yeah.
No, what did he do?
He skipped work, but he went to buy the game at work, because he worked at Walmart.
Yeah.
And his boss saw him there. So the next day,
he goes back in, goes to his boss, is like, hey, I heard you saw my identical twin brother yesterday picking up Elder Scrolls, and stuck to that story all day until they finally just said, fuck it, whatever, and let him be. It was amazing.
Funny. I love it.
What?
Yeah.
I've gotten out of all sorts of stuff to watch things, so narrowing it down would be harder. I mean, family gatherings, my sister's wedding, the birth of my second child, all sorts of stuff. You know? I was like, look,
You have a first
look,
child?
that's a whole different story. But I was like, look, this. I'm sure you're going into labor is great, but Furious 7 is about to start. I'll call you back when it ends, maybe, because I stayed till the end of the credits. I don't want to miss the part where they hint at what's going to happen in Fast Furious 8. So, or Fate.
Fate.
Yes.
Yeah, there we
Fate.
go.
I don't know. She's stupid. I changed my number. It's fine.
Yeah,
Next
like
question. My wife doesn't know. It's cool.
All right. Another one from Oziel. What are you looking forward to in the 100th episode of MLP? Because that happens. That actually happens when we're going to be at MLP MSP.
My OC is going to be in the episode. No, I have no idea. I get to rag on M.A. Larson.
Yeah.
I want to rip him a new one. Can't wait. Be like, Larson, this sucks. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. Here's a pie. No, I'm looking forward to it because Larson's he's a stand-up guy, and look forward to it. It should be fun.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for all the background ponies to get wings.
Single dang one of them.
Yeah. Even the ones that
Oh.
already have wings will get another pair of wings.
Here's a question from Mega Answer. Did you hear that Phineas and Ferb is now wrapping up? The series finale is on June 12th.
I've never
did hear
watched that
that.
show. Ever.
I've seen a few episodes.
That show's interesting because there's some that are really great, and then there's some that are questionable and awful.
Yeah.
Same with like the songs in them. Some of them are really catchy, and then others I'm like embarrassed to be watching. It's very hit or miss, that show. I'm sad that it's leaving, and it was gonna have a movie, and then that never happens. But you know, I think it's time to go. Disney Channel's changing. We have Gravity Falls now, so
Yeah.
when's that
So,
coming?
that was on Disney XD. Like all the cartoons are moved to Disney XD.
Yeah, Phineas and
channel I
Ferb. It's
don't
kind of
have.
like it's that phase is ending anyway. It's not as big as it used to be. It used to be huge. Like kids love that or love that show.
Yeah.
It was a fun
People
show.
jumped ship to Cartoon Network when like Adventure Time and regular show became really big.
Yeah, that's true. For when Adventure Time and regular show started, Phineas and Ferb was the big show,
Yeah.
and so now, you know, now it's no more. And then yeah, I don't know.
All right. You guys got any questions?
Let's see.
What about life or questions that people ask?
Questions people asking.
Alec Greer asks us all, who is a kid and who is a squid?
No one can be quite sure.
Well, apparently I'm a kid squid.
I think I'm a kid because I don't have the game. So I'm going to say I'm a kid.
I'm a man.
No, you're not.
I try. I'm a man. And look at these wonderful bittersweet chocolate sauce strawberries. You know, this is wonderful.
Oh, Treble Notes asks, least favorite Smash character.
Master
Speaking of controversial opinions, I don't find Smash very fun. So all of them.
All of them.
Oh, Paperboy. Why is he in there?
He's not.
But if he was, he'd be the worst one, right?
Yeah, probably.
There we
I don't
go.
know. I thought Rob was pretty bad.
Yeah, Robin.
You know what? There are too many Fire Emblem
Cooks.
characters. All the Fire Emblem characters that don't matter and nobody
Yeah,
cares
Fire
about.
Emblem became like the new Pokemon for Smash. It's weird.
Sakurai needs to just calm down.
Someone asked. have you
Aliker
ever-
also asked, "Isn't Saber gonna throw a pie at Larson?" Saber.
Absolutely, yes, I will be.
All right.
Cool.
Is that gonna be on videotape?
Yeah, I mean, well, Race is going to be there, so yes, it will. Everything will be.
Everything will be on videotape.
Everything. actually
Videotape,
will.
or everything will be on video.
I'm
Yeah.
so upset that I'm not going. It just sunk in right now that I'm not gonna be there, and now I'm like upset.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
Tom.
I'm sorry.
be
I'm
there
not
in
going to be
spirit.
there either.
Let's have
I'm
our
gonna-
own convention in Brooklyn called.
Well, I'll be
Cat-
working.
Fuck
And-
you! It's the weekend.
I work on the weekends.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I work a lot. Sorry. I need money to buy cats.
Priorities.
These cats don't feed themselves. Well, they do if you let them, but cat food doesn't grow on trees. I mean, it does, but I'm not going to feed them that.
Wait, cat food does. Oh yeah, squirrels.
Squirrels and they eat
Squirrels grow on trees?
Well, there you
I mean,
go.
You didn't
You wanna
know
get
that?
really
Wait, hold on.
technical.
Paleo, you didn't know that? Haven't you seen a squirrel tree?
Just hanging there by their tails. It's really kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah, they do. Saber knows Atlanta has so many squirrel trees.
Everywhere outside the Chick-fil-A factory, so many squirrel trees.
It's an epidemic.
It makes you
When
wonder.
you
if
said
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A factory,
is
I just
actually
imagine a factory with like an assembly line that just has Chick-fil-A restaurants just dropping out of the factory.
Well, would you rather have a Chick-fil-A factory or a Chick-fil-A plantation? Because we used to have those
Oh
too.
my god.
Oh no. Yeah, but the interesting thing people don't know about the Chick-fil-A plantation is squirrels were actually there working. It was a whole squirrel workforce because they had so many squirrel trees.
Indentured squirrel servants.
Yeah, well, that's after. That's you know what? I was gonna say that's after squirrel rights, but I realized I was getting myself in a whole thing there.
Yeah, let's stop. We have a squirrel president now, so we're fine.
Whoa! See, I backed away. And Obama's half squirrel. Everybody knows.
His other half is that he's a chipmunk.
If someone wants to draw that fan art,
Please, by all means.
please, by all means, draw Obama as a half squirrel, half chipmunk, and send all complaint letters to Saber at Saberspark at Atlanta, Georgia. The post office will be like, I know who this goes to. Don't worry.
Oh, I know this is a good 86 then.
I know this guy.
All right. Any more questions, or are we done?
Yeah, I think
I'm not
we're
getting
done.
I'm not getting any more questions.
Whoa, sorry, Dad.
It's okay, son. Just try better next time.
All right. I guess we're done.
All right.
It's over. You made it.
Yeah. So next time,
Next
Me
time
and-
on Game Grumps. Wait, what?
no, no. Next time, me and Saber are going to be at MLP MSP, so there won't be a show that week. So we might just have it the next week.
Yeah,
That sound good?
I'm not sure if I will be here, but I will try.
I have no life, so I mean,
Okay. So
you
yeah.
laugh, but it's true.
So see you in 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks this time.
Okay.
So
Enjoy Jurassic World, everybody.
yeah, and also Inside Out because that'll be out by then.
Yeah, that's
So.
true. It's true.
So yeah, thank you for coming out to the POS Podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
See ya. See ya.